What's going on, everybody? It's Stas here. Welcome back to another video. So the stock market was green today, guys. S&P 500 up 0.2%, Dow Jones up 0.1%, and the Nasdaq 100 led them all up 0.9% as the Russell 2000 went up a little bit over 0.5% on the day. And in this video, we're going to be talking more about the stock market, breaking down some technicals, going over a bunch of stocks that I'm looking to buy right now. And I want to share with you guys what I've been doing in the stock market, what stocks I own right now, and in general, where my head is at as a trader, as an investor. So make sure to hit that like button for me, subscribe to the channel. We're trying to get 20,000 subscribers by the end of 2020, and I think it's very possible. So subscribe to the channel and make sure to get your 4 free stocks from WeBull down below. All you have to do is deposit $100, and you can enjoy 4 free stocks valued up to $1,600. So let's get into it, guys. Today, S&P again up 8 points, Dow Jones up, Russell 2000 up, and the Nasdaq was up. So green all across the indexes. And what we can see here is the S&P 500 almost hit an all-time high today. We got about 1 point and some change shy of that all-time high, which is a bit of a bummer, but it doesn't really matter to me, guys, because I think, honestly, next week we're going to hit an all-time high, and I'll explain to you why here. What we can see is the S&P 500 is trading within this little 20-point window that we've been in over the past 3 trading days. And this little 20-point window is between 36.25 on the support side and resistance at about 36.45, right? And we've been talking about this little channel the past couple of videos if you guys have been watching, right? And it's important that we are holding 36.25 because that is where we saw resistance on the S&P from the 16th of this month to about the 18th of this month. And it's important that we're likely to break out of 36.45 because that is the resistance, the all-time high, that if we do break, we're going to gap up higher, in my opinion, maybe to 3,700, maybe 3,750 on the S&P. I've seen some firms out there, banks, saying S&P 3,800 by the end of the year, 3,900 by the end of the year, which might be a bit of a stretch, honestly, but if we do break this technical resistance here, I think we could get there. Maybe not 3,900, but maybe 3,750, 3,800. I think that's in the cards, right? And again, we got 1 point shy from that all-time high today. And what we're noticing here, especially if we zoom in a bit, let's say on the 5-day, 5-minute chart, we're noticing that, okay, we held 36.25 the past 3 trading days. This morning, we gapped up. We failed breaking 36.45, which, again, it's a bit of a bummer, but it's okay because I think next week we're going to plow right through that. So we failed breaking that. We pulled down, and this is where I'm thinking the bullish momentum, this is why I'm thinking the bullish momentum is continuing, because we hit 36.45, we got rejected, we pulled down, and we held a higher low here at 36.25. We held that old resistance as a new support, and we rallied into the close. That is so important. And by the way, today, the markets closed 3 hours earlier at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. They usually close at 4 p.m. due to the holiday that we're in right now. And by the way, I hope you guys all had a fantastic Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there. I'm thankful for each and every one of you guys watching these videos, tuning in, subscribing, liking the videos, using my affiliate links. I mean, if you're even just watching the video, I really am thankful for you. And if you guys, hit the like button, subscribe, use the links, I mean, that's awesome. I really appreciate all you guys. And again, happy Thanksgiving. And again, we're seeing the markets close a bit early. That's kind of what happens in the holiday season, right? And, we held that higher low on the 5-day, 5-minute, and we rallied into the close. That's a very good sign here for the bulls. And it's kind of like an ascending triangle in a sense because we're seeing a resistance at 36.45. That's a big wall right now that we need to break out of. And we're uptrending into that resistance. So eventually we're going to have to squeeze out, which I think is going to happen. And if we don't squeeze out, we're going to end up dumping. And in that case, we might see a bit of a sell-off. Maybe not a long sell-off, but maybe a bit of a sell-off to, let's say, 3,600. Let's say if 3,625 were to break. But again, I think we're going higher as opposed to going lower. And I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. And that's just my opinion, right? This is the Stas YouTube channel after all, right? And yeah, I mean, next week, watch for 36.45. That's a big resistance. And 36.25, that's a big support. So those are two levels that we'll see, okay, what direction are we going to pick? And then from there, we can end up analyzing the market further to see, okay, where could it end up going? So S&P is looking pretty bullish, and we saw a nice bullish close today. And when it comes to SPY, which is an ETF that tracks the S&P, what you guys can see is we held 363 as support. That's a very good sign. That was a resistance from back in the middle of November. The fact that we held it today and we ended up closing on a nice little upswing is a very good sign, right? I can easily see the SPY ETF, if the S&P 500 breaks out, it's obviously going to follow it because the SPY ETF tracks the S&P 500. I can easily see SPY squeeze up and test 366. That's the next big resistance coming up, right? Between 365, 366. So we're in about a 3-point window here on SPY between 363 and 366. So watch out for those two levels heading into next week. And when it comes down to the Dow Jones, we ended up going up not much today, but still it's a green day. I'll take it, up 37 points. Dow Jones ended up, let's see what the technicals are looking like here. We ended up closing above 29,900, which, hey, we didn't do that well today in terms of going up a lot. We only went up 0.1%, but that doesn't matter because the fact that we held 29,900, that old resistance, as support, that's great. That's awesome news, right? I'll take it. And for me, next week, I'm looking at, okay, do we hold 29,900 and we slowly start breaking out to the upside, maybe test 30,000, maybe 30,100? That could be a nice little gap on the S&P, or the Dow Jones, rather, that needs to be filled. You guys can see it here clearly on the 5-day 5-minute. I'm thinking, okay, if 29,900 breaks, we end up going towards 30K. We might get gap fill all the way up to 3,100, which gives us about 0.6%, 0.7% upside on the Dow Jones from where it is here. And remember, if we break 3,100, we might break out completely, and Dow Jones could go up to 35 or 30,500. I think that's possible, especially if we get more good news about the V-shot from any of these companies, right, which could be coming. Who knows when that's going to come. But if we get these recovery stocks doing well, which influence the Dow Jones, I think, hey, 30,500 could be hit here. When it comes down to the Nasdaq 100, tech did well, and we finally broke out of that big resistance I've been preaching about here on the channel, guys. 20-day 1-hour chart, you can see it. Resistance at 12,175 to 12,200. That's been a resistance ever since the middle of October, and you guys can see it here on the 90-day chart. Here you can see middle of October, we got rejected at 12,170. We got rejected there earlier in November, and now that we gapped up above it and we closed well above it at 12,250, I think we're going straight, maybe not straight to all-time highs here, but I think in the next couple of days, weeks, we should go to 12,400 here on the Nasdaq 100, and heck, we might even break it. We might even break it. Who knows? That's what I personally think, right? So Nasdaq's looking bullish, S&P's looking bullish, Dow's looking bullish, and the Russell, guys, almost hit an all-time high again today, which it's been hitting all-time highs pretty much every week the past couple of weeks, and we probably will hit another all-time high in the Russell 2000 at some point next week. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comments, guys. I would love to know, and make sure to hit that like button if you guys are enjoying the video thus far, and let's get into what I personally did today and what stocks I'm holding right now. And I only made one move today. I got into some Facebook, guys. Ticker symbol FB. This is one that I've been looking at for a swing trade for a couple of days here. I haven't pulled the trigger. We talked about it on the channel a little bit earlier this week, I believe, the week before that as well. But I honestly think Facebook has a lot of upside potential here, right? I think 300, 307, 305 is a price target in my eyes where I'm looking to exit out of it. And I actually got in at 277.50. I forget exactly when. All you got to know is I got in today, right? I think it might have been on this pump. Here at about 277.50. Yep, it was on this pump here earlier in the day. And what we're noticing here on Facebook is I actually am seeing a big resistance, right? 278, 279, 277. That's a big resistance. So me getting in now is a little bit jumping the gun. I'm kind of getting in before the confirmation, but I wanted to build my initial stake in this company right now. And I'm thinking if it breaks out, I'm going to add more to it, more into the momentum. Because, again, I think if 270, 278 breaks, 280 breaks, I think we have a full head of steam up to 290, 295, 300. And that's where I'd probably lock in profits. And before I lock in those profits again, I'll probably add into the momentum, right? Because we've seen here, last time Facebook broke 280, it saw an explosion of 300. We broke 280 a couple weeks ago in the beginning of this month, November. We got up to about 297, 300. And I'm thinking that's going to happen again. We're uptrending into this resistance at 280, and we're going to squeeze out at some point, right? And I wanted to get my feet wet, get into Facebook, and that's exactly what I did today, guys. And again, price target to sell anywhere from 290 to 300 here. And I'm also still in a couple other trades here, guys. Alibaba is one that I'm in at about 269.35. Locked in profits on that a couple days ago. Still holding on to the rest of my position there. Workhorse is another one that I'm still in. Locked in profits on half of my position a couple days ago. I'm still in the other half of the position here, guys. And I'm glad I locked in the profits because this one's been selling off a bit, as a lot of the EV plays out there past couple of days have been selling off, most of them, right? So when you see a stock get a bit exhausted, right, it's getting a bit overbought, it's never a bad idea to lock in profits, right? And that's exactly what I did, and I'm happy with my decision, but I still, at the same time, I still want skin in the game, which is why I left the other half of my position to ride out here, and I'm holding on to it. And I think overall Workhorse does have potential over $30 at some point, but obviously I don't have the crystal ball, and I can't tell you when that some point is going to be. But overall, I'm still in Workhorse, Alibaba, I'm still in Apple here, guys, APL, which you guys saw Tech did well, Apple did well today, and we're squeezing into this wedge that you guys can see here, and we're getting to that deciding point where, okay, we're going to break out of both moving averages here on the 4-hour chart and start breaking up into the low 120s, mid 120s, or we're going to break the support of this wedge and we're going to start breaking down lower. And in my opinion, guys, you might think I'm crazy, but I think either scenario is a win-win scenario because, okay, I'm in at $112 on Apple. Let's say we break out of this wedge to the upside. I'm going to be making money. I might add into the momentum, and I might lock in profits in the mid-120s. That's a win scenario. But if we go lower, let's say we break the support of this wedge, we go down to 112, 110, we go to 105. I still view this as a winning scenario because I get to pick up Apple at a cheaper price, right? And I think overall, next couple months, Apple is going higher, and this is one of my longer-term swing trades, so I'd be happy to pick up shares at 105, 110, right? So either way, in my opinion, it's a win-win scenario here with Apple because I am bullish the company in the short term and in the long term, right? And I'm still in SLV, which is my little hedge play here, silver ETF. It got hit today, guys, not going to lie, down 3%. Still holding on to my position there at about $23. And EA Electronic Arts, it came back to life today. We're finally starting to break up into those technical areas that I've been talking about here. EA up 2% at 124 is where it closed, and we're about to test 124, and this 180 SMA here 4-hour chart. These are both big levels of resistance, and I've said it before, I'll say it again. I think if 124 breaks, the 180 SMA breaks here as well. I'm thinking EA is going to 129. Let me extend this to the right here. 129, and then if 129 breaks, straight up to 133. And I'm thinking if 124 breaks, I'll add a little bit more to my position, average down a bit to get in before the bullish momentum, which I think is coming because this stock has been beaten down like crazy the past couple of weeks. Honestly, it's been months at this point since we hit that high 147 back in the beginning of August. So I think EA is due for a rally here. And overall, guys, that's what I'm doing. I'm in EA, I'm in SLV, I'm in Apple, Workhorse, Alibaba, and Facebook. So drop a comment down below. Let me know what you guys are doing. What stocks are you holding? Are you buying? Are you selling? Are you in cash for the holiday season? Are you expecting a drop? I would love to know. Let me know down below in the comment section. Now, let's talk about some other stocks here. A couple that I'm personally watching and maybe looking to add, maybe looking to nibble into a little bit here. The first one is Palantir. And guys, this is one that I've been saying needs to cool off. You guys know that. I've been saying it in the videos. It needs to cool off. It needs to cool off. It seems like every time it takes a little dip, it just explodes a lot higher. And today, we finally got the dip. We got a pop to 33.50. I mean, earlier in the day, believe it or not, guys, it was up again. It was up again about 10% in the beginning of the day today. It hit 33.50. And now you can see from that 33.50 high point, it hit a $6 haircut. It got hit $6 from that point down. Let's take a look here from that peak. It's got to be over, wow, almost 20%. So you guys know when a stock ETF index goes down 20%, it's considered a bear market, right? And we almost got into bear market territory today. I mean, I think we actually did if we're taking a look at the low point at 26 bucks to about 33.50. Yeah, it was down 22% from its peak at one point today. And this is because Citron, they actually came out and said this stock is like a casino. And we know Citron, they've had a couple short reports on multiple stocks out there, and they're back at it again here with Palantir. And let me tell you what they tweeted. They tweeted this, quote unquote, "What a run the past month for all. But as traders looking for short exposure, Palantir is no longer a stock, but a full casino. Does not take a ball of crystal to know this will fall back to ARDA." And I don't even know what that means, I'll be honest with you guys. But I'm thinking it's some sort of a little quote, analogy there or whatever. And they said they're shorting it with a $20 2020 price target. And they also said that the recent run-up, actually this is not in the tweet, but a little side note here. The recent run-up in the shares has the market valuing Palantir at more than $50 billion, and I'm assuming that's when it was at 33.50, or 50 times the company's expected 2020 sales or 2020 revenues. So Citron's pretty much saying, okay, the stock's getting a bit ahead of itself. It's a bit overvalued. It's a bit overheated. It needs to cool down. And I'll be honest, I kind of agree with Citron. I mean, I'm not short in the stock by any means, but I think it does need to cool off. And a lot of the time, what you guys see these short sellers do is, okay, they come out with this report, they come out with this tweet, it brings the stock down, they can short it and make money that way, but they might be picking up shares on the back end, right? They might end up picking up shares at 20, 25, wherever it does get to ride the wave back up. And I honestly think that it's going to go back up. That's my honest opinion. I think this sell-off is not going to last much. I think, yeah, we could get down to $25. I don't even know if we'll get down to $20, which is their short target. But either way, if it sells off even more, I'm looking to pick up some shares here on the dip because there's ridiculous momentum here with Palantir, and I think anywhere from 20, 25 bucks, heck, even here where it's at 27, I think this could be a dip opportunity. And what we're noticing is that it is holding the moving averages here at a higher low on this EMA 4-hour chart. And if I zoom in a bit here on the intraday chart, you guys can see it sold off from $33.50 to about $26, and it held that support for the rest of the trading day, which is pretty good news that, hey, it might want to rip up higher from here. But I'm not jumping the gun yet. I kind of want to see how Monday ends up playing out. But I think Palantir on this Citron tweet, the little short report, I think it could end up being a buying opportunity. And again, guys, do your own research, do your own due diligence. Don't buy anything because I say I want to buy something. You have to buy something based on your research and your opinion, right? So that's Palantir looking very solid here. And JMIA, this is one that you guys in the comment section and in my Instagram DMs, you guys were telling me all about this stock, and I honestly didn't know much about it until you guys shouted it out to me, and I really do appreciate you guys for doing that. And if you guys have any comments about stocks, drop them down below, and I'll look into them and cover them on the channel. And make sure to shoot me DMs on Instagram if you guys want to as well, at StasSurfS, and you might as well follow me as well because I do post pretty much every day on the stories there, keeping you guys up to date. So JMIA, and I'll be honest, I still need to do more digging into this company, but the basis of this company is it's an e-commerce platform in Africa, right? In Africa, one of, if not, is it the biggest? Yeah, I think it's the biggest continent. Anyway, Africa, guys, right? The company's platform consists of a marketplace, which connects sellers with consumers, logistics service that enables the shipment and delivery of packages from sellers to consumers, and a payment service which facilitates transactions to participants active on the company's platform and selected markets. And the market cap on this company right now is $3 billion. So it's pretty small, $3 billion. That's like chump change compared to some of these companies here in the U.S. And the beautiful thing about investing, guys, is you have to look outside. I mean, you don't have to, but the great thing is you can invest anywhere in the world if you want to, right? If you don't want to buy stocks in the U.S. market, which, I mean, I don't think that's a great idea. I think everybody should have stocks in the U.S. market. But if you want exposure outside of the U.S. in countries that are not as developed, that are coming up, like Africa, although it's not a country, it's a continent, but you guys get the point. If you want to, go into different countries, continents that are not as, developed, there's a lot of growth opportunity in doing that, right? And who knows, this company can blow up. I mean, Africa, let's be honest, it's not as developed. South America, not as developed as the United States. Other places in the world, they're not as developed, and we can see a lot of growth. I mean, take a look at Mercado Libre, another one, a bit off topic here, but Mercado Libre is an e-commerce play down in South America. It's headquartered in Argentina, and same scenario. I mean, take a look at the growth here from 422 back in April all the way to 1500, back to JMIA. This one's gone from about $2 all the way to $40, right? So, I mean, think about it. Back when it was $2, this company must have been 100 million in market cap, 200 million in market cap. So it seems a bit promising, right? And again, you guys have to look in other areas if you want to see some extraordinary growth. I'm not saying put in 50% of your portfolio. I mean, you can do whatever you want, obviously, but maybe putting 50% of your portfolio into, developing countries is not the best thing, but having some exposure is a good idea. I personally have, if I were to guess, off the top of my head, maybe 5 to 10% in different, markets outside of the U.S. I think it's smart, right? You guys have to be diversified outside of the U.S. So JMIA, technically speaking, it was a bit overbought at 41, but with today's sell-off, and it actually sold off last week, but it rocketed after that, so I guess it doesn't really count at this point. But with today's sell-off from $41 down to 36, it's starting to dip, right? RSI is coming down a bit, so I'd actually like to see it come down even more, maybe down to the low 30s. I think that could be a dip buy. And even where we are now could be a dip buy as we're seeing ridiculous momentum overall in the stock. So I hope you guys, got some value from that little portion of the video. Looking outside of the U.S., there could be a lot of growth out in different markets, right? So JMIA, awesome momentum here. I'm going to look deeper into the company myself. And another one here that did well is CGC. You know, the MJ stocks, guys, bananas. They're going bananas. CGC up 8% today. It's looking now to get out of these resistance levels from the past year. We're actually playing with the levels from a couple years ago now. If you guys take a look here on the 3-year chart, I mean, CGC is going to be gunning for levels that it hasn't been at since 2018. I mean, the next big resistance I see here is about $33. So watch out for CGC there. You know, ACB is another one that erupted today, up 20%. And oh my goodness, this one has a long ways to go to get back to where it was back in 2018 at $150. I don't think it's going to happen. I mean, who knows, but we might be going now from $10. Another big resistance coming up could be maybe, you know, $17, you know, $14, $13. So watch ACB there. SRAC is another one, momentous, which you guys have to watch my video that I made about a month ago on momentous. Go look it up. This is a stock that I have a little position in long term, right? I ended up picking up some at about 10, 10.50, about $11, right? And this is one that's a space play. And the past couple of days, I mean, it's been going crazy. I mean, you know, the last trading day, it went from $10 up to about 12. Then today it went up another 11%, close to $14. And it's finally getting some bullish momentum. So SRAC is definitely one worth watching here, although it is a bit overbought. You guys can't argue the fact that there is momentum. So it's worth watching. Zoom is another one. ZM went up like crazy today, up 6%, up 27 points, closed above 470. Would you take a look at that, guys? And I've been on the channel, not to toot my own horn, but I've been on the channel saying Zoom, Shopify, a lot of these stay-at-home stocks, when they took the big hit, I thought that they were dip opportunities, right? I thought that, hey, you know, these companies are going to do well. We're seeing a big wave of the CV now. You know, the cases are going up. Unfortunately, the casualties are going up as well. So I was saying that, yeah, these are going to do well because before we get the V-shot, which is months away, we're still going to be staying at home more, using these services, shopping online. So Zoom is great. I think it still has more upside, especially since it broke 460 today. We gapped out of that level. We closed above that as a new support. We closed at 470. And yeah, you could argue it's a bit overbought here on the 4-hour, but momentum doesn't really care much about the RSI sometimes. So we could go even higher. You know, we could go up to 500 next week, which is another big resistance coming up. So I'm loving Zoom. Loving Shopify here, guys. Shopify played out as well, like I was saying, you know, a couple videos back last week, the week before when it took that hit, you know, when it hit about 900, I was saying watch for that gap back up to 1,000, 1,050. It did exactly that. So Zoom, Shopify, you know, Virgin Galactic's another one here, SPC, that did very well. Earlier in the day, we actually got the $30.10, guys. We filled the gap entirely to that old resistance from, let me take a look. When was that? That was actually back from, wow, I mean, we hit those levels that we haven't been at since before the CV. That was right around when it started to get crazy back in February. And I remember now, a little off topic, that's when I was in Disney, man. I really miss going on vacations, but that was that the last vacation I took? Yeah, about almost a year ago. I was in Disney, and that's when I first was trading Virgin Galactic. I remember when it was going crazy here, from $19 to $42. It took that massive haircut after that when the whole CV craziness happened, and yeah, we're flirting with those levels that we were at back in February and March. So, yeah, I mean, I think there's upside here, and we're looking at it pulling down here at the close of the market, and we have to see, okay, will it hold 27, 26 as support, which was a high from back in the middle towards the end of July? If it does, that could be a dip buy, in my opinion, on Virgin Galactic here. You know, I think this is a healthy pull down. We might even go down to 26, meet that 50 SMA on the hourly chart. And another one here is Tesla. Unbelievable today, guys. Tesla up 2%, almost cracked 600, and this goes to show that the S&P 500 inclusion, all these new funds now that have to buy up Tesla stock, that is pushing the stock's price up like crazy. And just when you think that Tesla's going to cool off, maybe go down a little bit, like people were thinking back here, some people were at least, it rips up higher and it blows everybody's mind. That's the type of stock Tesla is. So at this point, it hit the higher high, right? It broke the all-time high. It's at an all-time high. And we might see a similar sell-off like we saw in this period. Maybe not an extended sell-off like we saw from the end of August to about literally last week in the middle of November. We might not see a sell-off for that long, but we might see a bit of a pull down. Who knows? Maybe down to the mid 500s. Maybe we cool off there for a week or two and then rip higher, and that could be a dip buy, right? So watch out for that when it comes to Tesla. And the last one here today is Amazon, up 0.3%. We are getting some bullish momentum as we're getting out of 3160, 3200. And especially if we break above 3250, I think it's going to explode out of there, but it's looking nice. And I think overall, and I've said it before, I think in this holiday season, more people are going to be shopping online. Where are they going to go? Amazon. So I think the next quarter for Amazon should be solid, in my opinion at least, and the stock's going to follow it. I think it's going to explode higher, maybe to 3350, maybe 3400, maybe 3500. So I think Amazon's got potential. And I'm gonna leave you guys there with that. So if you all enjoyed the video, hit that like button for me. Smash that subscribe button. Again, we're trying to get 20,000 subscribers. And make sure to join the Strive Smart Discord chat and the Facebook group. It's free of charge. We have almost 4,000 people in that Discord chat and about 1,000 in the Facebook group. So make sure to get in there. And also get your 4 free stocks from WeBull. I believe that runs out at the end of November. So your time's running out. You can get 4 free stocks valued up to $1,600 using that link down below. So I'll catch you all in the next video. Again, happy Thanksgiving, happy holidays to everybody out there. Have a great weekend. Stay safe out there. Keep crushing the markets. Peace out.